You're miles from civilization, surrounded by nothing but trees and silence. The stars above are breathtaking, but the feeling of being watched is undeniable. You tell yourself it's just your imagination, until the knocking on your van door begins. The van life dream promises freedom, adventure, and a life unbound by the constraints of society. But for those hopes stumbled upon a scary van life park, it became a nightmare they'll never forget. Nestled deep in an unnamed forest, this seemingly idyllic campground hides a dark secret, a place where the line between reality and terror blurs and where the shadows are alive. This is the story of Mia and Jake, two wanderers whose dream of living on the road turned into a fight for survival. It's a tale of eerie whispers, unnatural silence, and a darkness that refuses to let go. A story so chilling, it will make you think twice before parking your van in the middle of nowhere. The story Mia had always been drawn to the idea of van life. The freedom to wake up wherever she wanted, to explore hidden corners of the world, and to live life on her own terms. It was everything she had ever dreamed of. When she met Jake, a rugged, free-spirited mechanic with a passion for restoring old vans, it felt like the universe had finally aligned. Together, they bought a vintage VW camper, painted it a cheerful sunflower yellow, and named it Sunny. For months, they traveled the country, documenting their adventures on social media and living the life they'd always wanted. But one wrong turn changed everything. It was late when they saw the sign. The GPS had cut out hours ago, and they'd been driving aimlessly through a dense, unmarked forest. The road was narrow, the trees looming overhead like silent sentinels. Just as they were about to turn back, the headlights caught a weathered wooden sign. "Scary Van Life Park," Mia read aloud, her voice tinged with unease. Jake chuckled. Probably just a gimmick to attract tourists. Let's check it out. The park was small, just a clearing surrounded by towering pines. A few other vans were parked in the distance, their windows dark. It was quiet, too quiet. No rustling leaves, no chirping crickets, just an oppressive silence that made Maya's skin crawl. They parked Sunny near the edge of the woods and settled in for the night. Dinner was a simple affair, canned soup heated on the portable stove, and they ate under the stars, laughing about the park's ominous name. But as the night deepened, so did the unease. It started with the whispers. At first, Mia thought it was the wind, a faint rustling that seemed to come from the trees. But the sound grew louder, more distinct, until she could swear she heard her name. "Do you hear that?" she asked, her voice trembling. Jake frowned. "Hear what?" Before she could answer, a loud thud shook the van. They froze, staring at each other in the dim glow of the battery-powered lantern. "Probably just an animal," Jake said, though his voice lacked conviction. But the knocking came again, louder this time, followed by a low, guttural growl that made Maya's blood run cold. Jake grabbed a flashlight and peered out the window, but the beam of light revealed nothing but darkness. "Let's just lock the doors and go to sleep," he said, trying to sound calm. "Well, leave first thing in the morning." Mia nodded, but sleep was impossible. The whispers grew louder, morphing into voices that seemed to come from inside the van. She could hear them clearly now, taunting her, telling her things she had never told anyone. "Jake," she whispered, clutching his arm. "We need to leave. Now." But when Jake turned the key, the engine wouldn't start. The battery was dead, despite being fully charged just hours earlier. Panic set in as they realized they were trapped. That's when they saw the shadows. At first, they were just flickers at the edge of the flashlight's beam, dark, shapeless forms moving between the trees. But as the night wore on, the shadows grew bolder, creeping closer to the van. Mia could feel them watching her, their presence pressing in on her like a physical weight. By dawn, the other vans were gone. The clearing was empty, save for Sunny and the suffocating silence. Mia and Jake tried to walk out, but the forest seemed to shift around them, leading them in circles until they stumbled back to the van, exhausted and terrified. Days passed, or maybe it was weeks. Time lost all meaning in scary Van Life Park. The whispers never stopped, the shadows never left, and the van became both their sanctuary and their prison. One night, Jake snapped. He grabbed a knife and stormed out of the van, screaming at the shadows to leave them alone. Mia watched in horror as the darkness swallowed him whole, his screams fading into nothingness. Alone and desperate, Mia made one last attempt to escape. She poured all her remaining energy into fixing the van, praying it would start. When the engine finally roared to life, she didn't look back. She drove for hours until the trees thinned and the sun broke through the clouds. But even now, miles from Scary Van Life Park, Mia can't shake the feeling that something followed her out. The whispers still haunt her dreams, and sometimes, in the corner of her eye, she sees a shadow moving just out of sight. The van life dream was supposed to set her free. Instead, it left her with a nightmare she'll never escape. Have you ever experienced something unexplainable on the road? Share your story in the comments if you dare. And remember, not all who wander are lost. Some places are better left undiscovered. This story is designed to captivate readers with its blend of suspense, horror, and the allure of the unknown. It's a cautionary tale for anyone who's ever dreamed of hitting the open road, reminding us that sometimes the greatest dangers are the ones we never see coming.